Bernie Sanders wants the United States Congress to end support for the Saudi-led war in Yemen. Finally! Bernie, glad you're getting involved. This is a article that's in The Intercept by Lee Fang and Alex Edmonds. This resolution was introduced by Bernie Sanders and Chris Murphy, a Democrat from Connecticut, and Mike Lee, a Republican from Utah. And they're trying to use the War Powers Act of 1973, a Vietnam War-era law that limits the president's power to wage war without congressional authorization, to disentangle the U.S. from a campaign that has claimed thousands of civilian lives and led to mass starvation. I've talked about this numerous times. It's been reported 130 children a day, every day, die in Yemen as a result of what the Saudis are doing with our help. The U.S. military, I'll read it right direct from this article, currently provides vital support to the Saudi-led incursion into Yemen. Saudi Arabia began its bombing campaign in March of 2015 under President Obama, aiming to restore Yemen's former Saudi-backed president, Abdul Rabu Mansour Hadi, to power. Hadi was deposed in 2014 by Zaidi Shiite rebel group commonly known as the Houthis. The U.S. has supported the campaign for almost 3 years, providing targeting intelligence, weapons, and mid-air refueling support for Saudi warplanes. But neither the Obama administration nor the Trump administration has publicly outlined the legal basis for the U.S. war in the conflict. And it's weird. I don't ever hear the word Yemen mentioned on the mainstream media. This will probably get demonetized. Know that for sure, and that's why I need your support on the Patreon. Patreon.com/Graham Elwood, so I can report stuff like this. They've been trying to do this, so I reported on this. They have tried to, some members of Congress have tried to do this in last April, and there also was what happened in September, represents Ro Khanna, a Democrat from California, Tom Massey, a Republican from Kentucky, Mark Pocan, a Democrat from Wisconsin, and Walter Jones, a Republican from North Carolina, introduced a similar war powers resolution to try to force a vote on U.S. support for the war in Yemen. Senior members of both parties, included Rep. Steny Hoyer, a Democrat from Maryland, the Democratic minority whip, opposed the effort, as it was reported by The Intercept in October. So here's how the Saudi government responds. They have the largest lobby operation in Washington, Brownstein, Hyatt, Farber, Schreck, LLP, a lobbying firm initially hired by the Saudi government on a $1,000 a month retainer, met with key lawmakers to try to influence the resolution. Elizabeth Gore, a former senior Democratic staffer now working on the Brownstein policy director on Saudi account, corresponded by email on November 13th with representatives for the offices of Hoyer and Representative Elliot Engel, the ranking member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, to discuss the Khanna resolution. Another Brownstein Hyatt lobbyist, Zachary Pfister, corresponded on the same day with those of Office of Rep. Seth Muthin, a Democrat, to discuss the resolution. If you go into the article, which is in the show notes below, you can see these actual emails where they reached out. So every time one of these is introduced, then this big $1,000 a month lobbying firm that is paid for by the Saudis jumps into action and starts maneuvering. They can't let this happen. Just so you know how much the Saudi government, we're all up in arms over what Russia has done. They hijacked our election. The Saudi government has more say in our elected politicians than you do or I do. Rachel Maddow hasn't talked about that yet? Really? Rachel Maddow hasn't talked about that. Joy Reid hasn't talked about that yet? Interesting. Interesting. That's weird. Probably just hasn't come across their desk yet. Producers are busy. I get it. This is every time this happens, and this is what this article goes into, the Saudi lobbyists, they step in, right? Alfred Motor, a prominent Democratic lobbyist with Brownstein Hyatt and former fundraiser for the Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. By the way, the Saudis give to the Clinton Foundation, by the way. Yeah, the Saudis. So the Hillary Clinton is this big feminist hero. So she gets money from a government that treats women like dogs, like second-class citizens. Women have so much less rights in Saudi Arabia. And yet this so-called feminist hero, Hillary Clinton, takes money from them. See why she's bullshit? See why the Clinton Foundation is bullshit? Her husband's bullshit. Chelsea's bullshit. You see why they're just hypocritical corporate Democrat assholes that it doesn't matter where they get the money from. They could get the money from fucking child pornographers. They could get the money from blood diamond sellers and illegal arms and human traffickers. It's like, hey, put it in the foundation and no, boy, we're doing such great work. We're such great liberals. No, you're not. Other Saudi lobbyists stepped in as well. Howard Buck McKeown, a former senior GOP representative who retired from Congress to open his own lobbying shop, the McKeown Group, is also paid by the Saudi government to help maintain political support for the war in Yemen. I don't know how these people look themselves in the mirror. When you see the photos and the images of all these kids dying in Yemen, weird that those images aren't on TV. When there's sarin gas, in Syria, oh boy, we'll see kids coughing and oh boy, we better bomb Syria. But we don't see that happening in Yemen, a war that we're helped supporting, that we're creating. We've helped create 130 children dying every day. American tax dollars are going for that. So you're okay with that? Yeah, I'm not. So the Sanders-Lee resolution will likely produce a second wave of Saudi lobbying. But activists say the Saudi bombardment and continued blockade of international relief has made the resolution more urgent than ever. Yemeni activist Shari al-Adimi, in a statement to reporters, said that the Saudi coalition's war can only end when the U.S. withdraws its support of the Saudis. The resolution, she added, can prevent millions more from suffering unnecessarily. So if we want to stop being the evil empire and want to go back to being like a humanitarian, a philanthropic country, a country that wants to help, we should start in Yemen. You see how we should, it's what is being done in our name is atrocious. It is the worst humanitarian crisis in Yemen right now. All these organizations around the world are saying this. But the Saudis pay all these people money, and they buy off Republicans and they buy off Democrats. They literally, in these lobbying organizations, say, you are a former Republican, whatever, then you go talk to all your Republican buddies. You're a former Democrat, whatever, you go talk to all your Democrat pals. That's how this works. And that's why corporate Democrats sicken me. And that's why when I hear neoliberals say, well, lesser of two evils. No, fuck you. Lesser of two evils gets us 130 dead Yemeni kids every fucking day. Every day. By the end of the day, 130. By tomorrow, 260. But isn't it, it doesn't disgust you? It's disgusting. So Hillary Clinton, her husband, they're not heroes. They're not liberals. Yay. They're part of the problem. Corporate Democrats are part of the problem. Vote them the fuck out this year. Get rid of them. Don't just vote for a Democrat because they're going to unseat a Republican. Make sure it's a real progressive. I don't care if it's a Republican progressive like Sam Ronan. Get real progressives. People, ask them. Email them. What's your stance on Yemen? Are you for Yemen? Are you for single-payer health care? Are you for ending wars? Are you for cutting the military budget in half? Are you for a Green New Deal? If you're not for those things, or you say, I'm for them, but pie in the sky and it's so difficult, then shut the fuck up and get out of my way. You corporate sellout. Get out of my way. You're useless and you support murder. Go away. We don't need you anymore. We need you guys. We need political vigilantes everywhere, which is what you are and what you're doing on every day. Everything that you do, all the little things you guys do in your daily, the way you vote with your dollars, the issues you participate in, the little things you participate in your local government, all those things matter. All those things add up so that a groundswell of progressives can unseat them everywhere. So if they're going to stand around and go, what happened? And the Saudi lobbying whores can throw their money around, but there's a bunch of people saying, I'm not going to take this. I don't want this money. I don't want this in your name. I don't want to put my name on this. I don't care what it buys me. I have a little taste of this in show business. I could be making a lot more money working for some big, network, right? Doing comedy where network suits are censoring all of my comedians. Or I could work for FNX, which is where I'm working, which is public broadcasting, where I have a bunch of comics. And when the show hits the air, you'll see it. People are doing political stuff. They're talking about real issues. They're also just doing funny jokes. Most importantly, the show needs to be funny. But I feel so proud because I'm a part of something where I'm not getting a big paycheck from the war machine. And I don't know. Maybe some big sponsor will come in and I don't know. We'll deal with that as it comes. But I can't. Going back, I'm so tired of these things being done in America's name. And I'm done with us having a relationship with Saudi Arabia. They're an evil dictatorship, and they're rich, and they're ruthless, just like America. Thanks for watching.